My precious honey.
Like precious honey.
Thank you. You are precious. Oh,
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Beautiful. I'm a happy man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Happy man.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Talk to me, baby.
So, in at what stage in someone's life, number one, should they prepare a will? So
Mhm.
this question will have a lot of things concerning death and moving of property from one person to the other.
Mhm.
So at what point should a person write a will?
Mhm.
Secondly, can you transfer your property before you die?
Mhm.
Must it go through succession? What are the requirements of the law?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, those two first.
All right. So you can write a will at any stage of your life. The thing is that as things change,
Mm.
you're allowed to do something called a codicil. A codicil is a legal change in a will. So let's say, for example, you write a will and you're 20 years old, and 30 years down the line, you're 50, you're still alive, and you've amassed a lot more things than what you had when you were 20. You keep adding them on top of the will. But of course, that is called a codicil. It's a change in an already written, a legal change to an already written will, which has, of course, has to be countersigned in the presence of a lawyer and a witness. So you can write your will at any stage of life. And in fact, the earlier the better. Because some people say, well, I'm going to write my will next week. And then they die before writing it. You
That's
see?
true. Now, on that, what if you have a document in one of your, maybe in your computer,
Mhm.
where you just said, this is what I would like to happen?
That's
Is
a
that a
will.
will?
It is a will.
Okay, so it's not what is necessarily with a lawyer.
No, no, that can be proved. But you have to prove it,
Yeah.
which is what administration and probate is about. It has to be proved that it wasn't written
Mm.
by
But-
one of the beneficiaries
Yes.
with the aim of getting some form of advantage.
Yeah.
There's also what we call an oral will,
Mhm.
where you call people and you just tell them that property is yours and that one is yours in case I depart.
Yeah.
That is legally binding. It's only that it might be difficult to prove it, which is why it's important to have witnesses and it's important to write things down in the presence of a lawyer to notarize things down. Okay. So, is it possible to do succession without succession?
Yeah.
That is giving away your estate before you die. Yes. One of the ways is to transfer them. You can just decide to do outright transfer. You can say, these 5 acres or these 10 acres, I'm transferring to you, my child, so and so. So that in that case, that property doesn't have to go through succession. It's already been transferred.
Yeah.
You can say, my shares in this particular company, I'm transferring to you. And then you go through the process of transfer
Yeah.
with necessary documents, legal documents, and that's it. So those shares will never go through probate or through succession. One other way is to resign from companies that you run and then appoint your family members to take over. And you can remain as a chairperson, a non-executive chairperson.
Yeah.
That means you're a chairperson who doesn't have to sign anything.
Ah.
So you can continue to give leadership without being in charge. So you've transferred everything, from including your own house. If you love your family, that is, some people are so suspicious, they don't love anyone,
Yeah.
not even themselves. So
And some
Yeah.
people can also have family members who could kill them.
yes,
Property.
yes. So if you've grown according to the ways of God and you love each other, and you know you've done your level best, even if you're not sick, even if you're not going to die, step back, move away, let your children take over, and you remain as an executive chairperson. So you're still giving good advice, you're still drawing some allowance from your company. Your life is beautiful, but you can watch and see your children and your beneficiaries taking over from you, which is much better.
Mhm.
The third way, and there are many ways, I'm just going to give three feasible ways, but there are many other ways you can do succession without going through court.
Yeah.
One of the best ways is to open something called a living trust, so that all your properties are placed under that trust, and then your beneficiaries become trustees. Trustees are those people who have been given responsibility to manage the trust, to run it. When In the trust, of course, you put all the details of your beneficiaries and etc. etc. Upon death, that property doesn't have that estate doesn't have to go through succession. Automatically, it is transferred to those trustees or beneficiaries according to what was written in the document of trust. There's a word for it, a document of trust. There's a legal terminology for it. Yeah. So those are three ways you can transfer property without having to go through the court process. Probate in some countries or succession in some countries is extremely expensive and it's taxed heavily.
Yeah.
So avoiding it is actually a good thing. So the living trust is one of the best ways. Go look it up. Go just study it on the internet. It's the living trust. Okay. But if you don't want to do a living trust, step away from active leadership, like an executive, chairperson, or director, and appoint your people, the ones you think can succeed you.
Wow.
Appoint them to take charge. And if you have children, trust them. Yeah, God has trusted us with His charge.
Yeah.
So you can trust your children with whatever is left. After all, you can't sleep on more than one bed at a time. You can't sit on more than one chair or one space in the chair at a time. You cannot eat more than 2 plates at a time. Yeah. It will always be one or the other, or one followed by the other. So even if you're the biggest millionaire or billionaire on the face of the earth, your needs are always not that high. They can be met with minimum amount of money. So you can let your people run the company. Do you realize that most families whose businesses have been there for hundreds of years are always like that? The founder steps down and the son takes over.
That's right.
So they don't have to go to succession. And it keeps going on like that. So you find that 4, 5, 6, 7 generations running very successful companies. I think people should learn that.
That's a great thing.
Yeah. Even if Jesus is returning soon, we'll still have 1,000 years after he returns.
Yeah.
Rule and reign, and some of these companies will still be there. Yeah.
That's really precious, honey. And I think when you say that, the law of love in family needs to reign.
Some people use wills,
Yeah.
unfortunately, as a whip to punish people that disagree with them, people they don't like. They use wills to reward some while chastising others. That's not the right thing. That's why the law has been changed many times all over the world.
Yeah.
Different succession laws have been changed so that there is what we call equitable distribution of the estate, or what we call reasonable provision. You may not be given equal share, but it needs to be reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, my honey. You know, you're dealing with topics sometimes people don't even know about, but they're necessary.
It's a big problem now. A lot of people lose property, money, they lose a lot of things, bank account details, because nobody was privy to what was going on. Somebody died in an accident, nobody knew it, that they had some offshore accounts. So you find people who are supposed to really benefit suffer, while those who didn't work hard, were not part of the family, are enjoying what should benefit the family. So it's important that you study succession. It's important that you learn. Just read it. Okay? There's a lot of information online about succession. It won't take you more than an hour to at least get some information that can help you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your wisdom and godly guidance.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we love you all. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.